In moments when the world closes in around us, when our burdens feel too great to bear and every step forward seems impossibly steep, it is in these moments that the essence of our character is truly tested. The ancients spoke of a time when all seemed lost, a crucible where one's spirit either shatters or is forged anew. Today, we find ourselves in such times, not just as individuals, but as a collective, a society teetering on the edge of despair. The Stoics, the sages of old, knew this well. They understood that life is a series of challenges, a ceaseless tide of trials that test our resolve. But they also believed in the power of the human spirit to rise above these trials, to find within ourselves a strength that can withstand even the most overwhelming of circumstances. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This text is not just a reflection on Stoicism, but a journey, a dark and introspective journey into the depths of despair and the heights of resilience. It is a call to arms, not against external enemies, but against the most insidious of foes. Our own destructive emotions, our fears, and our doubts. Together, we will explore what it means to face the impossible, and in doing so, discover the unbreakable spirit within us all. Chapter 1. The nature of adversity. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. The Stoics understood this better than most. They did not shy away from it, nor did they seek to escape it. Instead, they embraced it, knowing that within every challenge lies the seed of growth. Fire tests gold. Suffering tests the brave, said Seneca, reminding us that it is through hardship that we are purified and strengthened. To the Stoic, adversity is not an external force to be avoided, but an internal trial to be embraced. It is through suffering that we are made whole, through struggle that we find our strength. The Stoics taught us to see adversity not as a curse, but as a teacher, a relentless, unforgiving instructor that strips away our illusions and forces us to confront our true selves. In the face of adversity, we have two choices: to succumb to despair or to rise above it. The former is the easier path, a descent into darkness that requires nothing but surrender. The latter is the path of the Stoic, a path that demands courage, discipline, and an unwavering belief in our ability to overcome. When everything seems impossible, it is not the world that must change, but our perception of it. As Epictetus wisely observed, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic recognizes that adversity is not an enemy, but a mirror, reflecting back to us our deepest fears and insecurities. By facing these fears head-on, we gain the power to transcend them. Chapter 2. The power of perception. Our perception of the world shapes our reality. The Stoics believed that the mind is the most powerful tool at our disposal, capable of transforming even the most dire of circumstances into opportunities for growth. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven, wrote the philosopher John Milton, capturing the essence of Stoic thought. When we are confronted with the impossible, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, to believe that we are powerless in the face of insurmountable odds. But the Stoic knows that power lies not in the external world, but within. It is our perception of events, not the events themselves, that determines our fate. This is not to say that we should ignore reality or pretend that our problems do not exist. Rather, the Stoic teaches us to see reality for what it truly is, a series of neutral events, devoid of inherent meaning or value. It is we who assign meaning to these events, we who decide whether they will be our undoing or our salvation. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminds us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, the understanding that while we may not control the world around us, we can always control how we respond to it. When everything seems impossible, the first step is to change our perception. Instead of seeing obstacles, we must see opportunities. Instead of seeing failure, we must see lessons. This shift in perspective is not easy. It requires discipline, self-control, and a deep commitment to the principles of Stoicism. But once achieved, it opens up a world of possibilities, turning even the darkest of times into a crucible for growth. Chapter 3. The role of emotion. Emotions are powerful forces, capable of driving us to great heights or plunging us into despair. The Stoics understood this, and they taught that while emotions are a natural part of the human experience, they should not be allowed to control us. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, said by Seneca. In times of crisis, when everything seems impossible, our emotions can become our greatest enemies. Fear, anger, despair, these are the emotions that rise to the surface, clouding our judgment and weakening our resolve. The Stoic approach to emotion is not to suppress or deny these feelings, but to understand and master them. The Stoics believed in the concept of apatheia, a state of being where one is free from the destructive influence of passions. This does not mean that a Stoic is devoid of emotion, but rather that they have learned to regulate their emotions to prevent them from taking control. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. When we are faced with the impossible, our emotions can either be our downfall or our greatest allies. The key is to approach them with the same discipline and rationality that the Stoics apply to all aspects of life. By acknowledging our emotions without being consumed by them, we gain the clarity needed to navigate even the most challenging of circumstances. The Stoic practice of premeditatio, malorum or premeditation of evils, is a powerful tool in this regard. By imagining the worst possible scenarios and preparing ourselves mentally for them, we can diminish the impact of fear and anxiety when these scenarios actually occur. This practice does not make us immune to emotion, but it does make us resilient, allowing us to face adversity with a calm and steady mind. Chapter 4. The discipline of action. In the face of overwhelming odds, it is easy to fall into a state of paralysis, unable to act, consumed by doubt and fear. The Stoics, however, placed great emphasis on the importance of action. "Do not be ashamed of help," wrote Marcus Aurelius, "but find wisdom wherever it exists." For the Stoic, action is not just a response to adversity, it is a duty. When faced with the impossible, we must not retreat into inaction, but rather take decisive steps forward, guided by reason and virtue. This is the essence of Stoic courage, not the absence of fear, but the resolve to act in spite of it. The Stoic discipline of action is rooted in the concept of prohairesis, the ability to choose our actions based on rational judgment rather than emotional impulse. This concept is central to Stoic ethics, as it empowers us to take control of our lives and shape our destiny, even in the most challenging of times. When everything seems impossible, the Stoic does not wait for the world to change, but instead changes themselves. They take action, no matter how small, knowing that every step forward brings them closer to their goal. This proactive approach is what separates the Stoic from those who are defeated by adversity. By focusing on what we can control and taking deliberate, purposeful action, we transform the impossible into the achievable. It is important to note that Stoic action is not about achieving immediate results, but about staying true to our principles, regardless of the outcome. As Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This mindset allows us to remain steadfast in the face of adversity, knowing that our efforts are not in vain, even if success is not guaranteed. Chapter 5. The strength of community. Stoicism is often perceived as a solitary philosophy, but this is a misunderstanding. While Stoics emphasize self-reliance and inner strength, they also recognize the importance of community and the support of others. We are all parts of one great body, wrote Seneca, and we must consider that we were born for the good of the whole. In times of crisis, when everything seems impossible, it is easy to feel isolated, as if we are facing our challenges alone. But the Stoic understands that we are never truly alone. We are all interconnected, part of a larger human family, and it is through this connection that we find the strength to endure. The Stoics believed in the concept of sympathia, the idea that all humans are part of a single interdependent system. This belief fosters a sense of solidarity and shared purpose, reminding us that our struggles are not ours alone, but are shared by others. In this way, Stoicism encourages us to seek out and support one another, to find strength in community, even as we cultivate inner resilience. When everything seems impossible, it is crucial to remember that we do not have to face our challenges alone. By reaching out to others, by forming bonds of mutual support and understanding, we create a network of strength that can carry us through even the darkest of times. This is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom, the wisdom to recognize that together we are stronger than we could ever be alone. Chapter 6. The virtue of resilience. Resilience is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It is the ability to withstand adversity, to endure hardship, and to emerge stronger on the other side. The art of life is more like wrestling than dancing, wrote Marcus Aurelius, for it requires being prepared to meet and withstand sudden and unexpected attacks. The Stoics believe that resilience is not an innate quality, but a virtue that can be cultivated through practice and discipline. By facing challenges head-on, by embracing adversity rather than avoiding it, we build the mental and emotional strength needed to overcome even the most difficult of circumstances. When everything seems impossible, resilience becomes our greatest asset. It is the force that drives us forward, that keeps us moving even when the road is long and the destination uncertain. The Stoic understands that resilience is not about avoiding pain or discomfort, but about enduring it with grace and dignity. The practice of amor fati the love of fate, is central to Stoic resilience. This is the idea that we should not only accept what happens to us, but embrace it, seeing every event as an opportunity to grow and learn. As Nietzsche, a later philosopher influenced by Stoicism, wrote, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones, turning the impossible into the possible through sheer force of will. Chapter 7. The journey of self-mastery. At the heart of Stoicism is the pursuit of self-mastery, the lifelong journey of understanding and controlling one's own thoughts, emotions, and actions. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior, wrote Confucius, echoing the Stoic belief that true power lies not in dominating others, but in mastering oneself. Self-mastery is the ultimate goal of the Stoic. It is the state of being where one is fully in control of their own mind and emotions, free from the destructive influence of external forces. This is not a state that can be achieved overnight, but a journey that requires constant effort and dedication. When everything seems impossible, the Stoic turns inward, seeking to cultivate inner strength and resilience through self-mastery. This involves a deep commitment to self-reflection, to examining our own thoughts and actions with honesty and clarity. By understanding our own weaknesses and limitations, we gain the power to overcome them. The Stoic practice of self-dialogue, engaging in a conversation with oneself, is a powerful tool for achieving self-mastery. By questioning our own beliefs, challenging our assumptions, and holding ourselves accountable for our actions, we can develop the mental discipline needed to face any challenge. As Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Self-mastery is not about achieving perfection, but about striving for continuous improvement. It is the recognition that we are all works in progress, and that every challenge we face is an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. When everything seems impossible, it is this commitment to self-mastery that allows us to rise above our circumstances and find the strength to persevere. Chapter 8. The Wisdom of Letting Go. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the wisdom of letting go, of recognizing what is within our control and what is not, and learning to release our attachment to the latter. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway, wrote Epictetus, capturing the essence of this Stoic principle. When everything seems impossible, it is often because we are clinging to something that is beyond our control, a desire for a certain outcome, a fear of loss, or a need for approval. The Stoic understands that this attachment is the source of much of our suffering, and that true freedom comes from letting go. The practice of ataraxia *, a state of serene calmness, is central to this aspect of Stoicism. By cultivating a sense of inner peace, free from the turmoil of external events, we can face any challenge with clarity and composure. This does not mean that we become indifferent or apathetic, but rather that we learn to approach life with a sense of equanimity, accepting both joy and sorrow with the same calm demeanor. Letting go is not an act of resignation, but an act of liberation. It is the recognition that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control how we respond to it. By releasing our attachment to the things we cannot change, we free ourselves from the burden of worry and anxiety, allowing us to focus on what truly matters: our own thoughts, actions, and character. Chapter 9. The Eternal Return to Virtue. Virtue is the highest good in Stoic philosophy, the guiding principle that shapes all of our actions and decisions. Virtue is nothing else than right reason, wrote Cicero, capturing the Stoic belief that living a virtuous life is the key to true happiness and fulfillment. When everything seems impossible, it is easy to lose sight of our principles, to compromise our values in the face of adversity. But the Stoic understands that it is precisely in these moments that virtue becomes most important. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it, wrote Marcus Aurelius, reminding us that virtue is not just a lofty ideal, but a practical guide to living a meaningful life. The Stoic path is one of continuous return to virtue, a constant effort to align our actions with our principles, even when the world around us seems to be falling apart. This requires a deep commitment to self-discipline, to holding ourselves to the highest standards even in the most difficult of circumstances. Virtue is not about achieving perfection, but about striving for excellence in all that we do. It is the recognition that our character is defined not by our successes or failures, but by our integrity, our honesty, and our commitment to doing what is right. When everything seems impossible, it is this commitment to virtue that allows us to remain steadfast and true, no matter what challenges we may face. Chapter 10. The Legacy of the Stoic. The Stoic philosophy is not just a guide for living, but a legacy to be passed down through the generations. What we do now echoes in eternity, wrote Marcus Aurelius, capturing the essence of the Stoic belief in the importance of our actions, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. When everything seems impossible, it is easy to focus solely on our own struggles, to lose sight of the impact our actions have on others. But the Stoic understands that our lives are part of a greater whole, and that our actions have the power to inspire and uplift others. The Stoic legacy is one of resilience, courage, and virtue, a legacy that has been passed down through the ages, from the ancient philosophers to modern-day practitioners. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we become part of this legacy, contributing to a tradition of wisdom and strength that will endure long after we are gone. When everything seems impossible, we must remember that we are not just living for ourselves, but for those who will come after us. By living a life of virtue and resilience, we leave a legacy that will inspire others to do the same. creating a ripple effect that will echo through the ages. Conclusion: the unbreakable spirit. In the darkest of times, when everything seems impossible, it is easy to lose hope, to believe that we are powerless in the face of overwhelming odds. But the Stoic knows that within each of us lies an unbreakable spirit, a wellspring of strength and resilience that can carry us through even the most challenging of circumstances. This text has been a journey into the heart of Stoic philosophy, a journey that has taken us through the nature of adversity, the power of perception, the role of emotion, the discipline of action, the strength of community, the virtue of resilience, the journey of self-mastery, the wisdom of letting go, the eternal return to virtue, and the legacy of the Stoic. But this is not just a philosophical journey. It is a call to action, a call to embrace the principles of Stoicism, to cultivate inner strength and resilience, to face the impossible with courage and fortitude. For it is in these moments, when everything seems impossible, that we discover who we truly are. As we conclude this journey, let us remember the words of Epictetus: "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure if you tell me that you desire a fig. I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." The path of the Stoic is not an easy one, but it is a path that leads to true greatness, a greatness that lies not in external achievements, but in the mastery of oneself. When everything seems impossible, we must remember that we have within us the power to overcome, to rise above, and to emerge stronger than ever before. This is the essence of Stoicism, the unbreakable spirit that has endured through the ages and will continue to endure as long as there are those who dare to live by its principles. Together, let us embrace the impossible, not as a barrier, but as a path to greatness. Let us face the challenges before us with courage, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to virtue. And in doing so, let us discover the true power of the Stoic spirit, a power that can turn even the darkest of times into an opportunity for growth, and the impossible into the possible.